Good evening, I'm Haley Wilgus.
And I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for being with us.
We have some top stories in a moment, but first we're going to get to some breaking news in Sarasota County.
Firefighters are on the scene of a deadly house fire right now on Sugar Lane. According to the Sarasota County spokesperson, a fire broke out at a single-family home on Prudence Drive around 3:30 this afternoon. 3 people were inside the home at the time. 2 people were killed. 1 person was taken to an area hospital with serious injuries. No information has been released about the victims at this time. Several surrounding streets are now blocked off while crews continue to put out the flames and investigate. Sarasota County Sheriff's Office is handling traffic. In other news, now to the race for the White House. For the second time this week, a presidential nominee is here in Florida trying to get last-minute support.
Hillary Clinton's campaign rally in Tampa just wrapped up, and ABC 7's Alan Cohn is joining us live from Curtis Hickson Waterfront Park with more on what she had to say to the crowd. Alan.
Haley, Curtis Hickson Park was just packed, about 4,500 people here. But in the apartment buildings to my left, people were watching from the balconies. And across the river, the Hillsborough River, is the University of Tampa. And we saw students lining the banks of the river to try to get a glimpse. On the day that Donald Trump was in Washington opening up his brand new hotel, a gourmet chef who was scheduled to have a restaurant there and who backed out was here in Tampa with Hillary Clinton. The two appeared in a packed house here at Curtis Hickson Park to make a point as Hillary Clinton campaigns for every last vote along the I-4 corridor.
He'd been asked by the Trump Organization to put a restaurant into the new hotel that Trump was talking about on TV today in Washington. And after Jose heard the kinds of things that Donald Trump was saying about immigrants, he said, no, I refuse to open a restaurant in that hotel.
This speech here today comes on the wake of 3 new polls that came out in terms of Florida voters. 2 of those polls, Florida Atlantic University has Hillary Clinton up by 3 points. Another poll by Bloomberg has Trump up by 1, which is why these candidates will keep on coming to the Tampa Bay area. Up next is the vice presidential nominee for the Democrats, Tim Kaine, who will be in Sarasota on Friday. We'll have more on today's visit by Hillary Clinton coming up at 6 and on ABC 7 at 7. For now, reporting live in Tampa, Alan Cohn, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Thank you, Alan. And as mentioned, vice presidential nominee Tim Kaine will be making stops in Florida on Friday. He will first attend an early vote rally in Tallahassee with Gabby Giffords and Mark Kelly. That event begins at 1:45. After that, Kaine will head to Sarasota for another rally that will take place at the Municipal Auditorium on North Tamiami Trail. Doors will open at 4:15. The event starts at 6:15.
The Republican presidential nominee taking a break from the campaign trail today. Donald Trump joined by his family at the grand opening of his new $200 million Trump Hotel in Washington, D.C. The hotel is just a few blocks from the White House. Trump called the project a, quote, metaphor for what we can accomplish for this country.
This building is a historical landmark, a true American original. It had all of the ingredients of greatness, but it had been neglected and left to deteriorate for many, many decades.
Trump also claimed that his ability to deliver the hotel under budget and ahead of schedule captures his pitch to the country and makes him the choice to revive the broken federal government.
The campaign sign debacle in Manatee County has taken yet another turn. A ban on political signs on county property has now been lifted just days after it was implemented. ABC 7's Rick Adams is joining us live now from the Supervisor of Elections in Bradenton with the latest. Rick.
Yeah, Haley, what a difference a few days makes. Campaign signs that were banned back there can now be seen all over the place.
Leave them up. Leave them up.
That's how Bradenton resident Mike Ragazzo and other voters feel about having the right to place political signs on Manatee County property. For Barbara Stevens, the signs served as a guide to the early voting location at the Supervisor of Elections.
I think that's good. That's the only way we could find where to go.
Earlier this week, candidates were forced to remove their signs from all county properties following a memo from the county administrator who enforced the ban. Manatee County commissioners heard complaints from numerous folks on Tuesday, voting 4-3 in favor of getting rid of the ban. Commissioner Betsy Benak, who is running for re-election, was one of the commissioners who voted to eliminate the ban.
People invest in signs as part of their campaign. They want to have the right to be here, put their signs up, and also the opportunity to interact with people.
These signs do represent a victory for all the candidates here in Manatee County. Now, all of them are hopeful for one more big victory come November 8th. Two of the candidates who are pushing hard to be able to place their signs on county property are Eleuterio Salazar and Warren Merriman, both of whom are running for mayor of Bradenton.
This was about the violation of the First Amendment, about freedom of speech, about the freedom of assembly.
Signs don't win elections, but it does help people to know who's running for what.
Manatee County's Supervisor of Elections, Michael Bennett, understands what the county was attempting to do because of past problems with driver visibility. He believes the candidates heard this message loud and clear.
It's strictly a safety issue, and so I was glad to see him implement it, and I was glad to see him pull it away.
In the meantime, many voters tell us they are happy to see the signs all over Manatee County, especially near the early voting sites.
They got to be advertised too, just like everybody else. So I think they should give them an okay to put them up.
And early voting goes on from now through November 5th here in Manatee County, so you can be sure you'll be seeing a lot more of these signs in the meantime. Reporting live from Bradenton, I'm Rick Adams. Back to you.
All right, Rick, thank you. As we get closer to the election, remember you can get updates and breaking news 24 hours a day by downloading our My Suncoast app. Just go to the App Store, search for ABC 7 Sarasota for news, traffic, and weather information.
And now it's time to get a check on our forecast. It's getting warmer, but at least still lower humidity, Bob.
That's right. Lower humidity still around, and also you can download the weather app too, so make sure you stop and get that as well. You can kind of keep a track of any kind of rainfall, current conditions, as well as the latest radar imagery from the radar site. Now you can see a lot of moisture down to our south, the Western Caribbean. All this associated with the tail end of that front. No real threat of anything developing here anytime soon. We'll have to keep an eye on it. A pretty big flare-up of storms there. Some of the high cirrus clouds are moving all the way over into the Florida Straits, near the Keys and over South Florida, just over parts of Charlotte County and South Sarasota County, but much of Sarasota under sunshine today. The forecast through this evening calling for temperatures to be a little bit above average. By 11 o'clock, mid-70s, still 74 degrees. But the humidity, as you mentioned, still very comfortable out there. Right now reading at 38% with an east wind at 16, 86 degrees the current temperature. More on our weather for the weekend, which is fast approaching, coming up in just a few minutes. Back to you guys.
All right, Bob, thank you. Florida Fish and Wildlife officers are stepping in to investigate the death of a sandhill crane in Parrish. The founder of Manatee Wildlife Rescue, Justin Matthews, was called to a home yesterday about an injured crane laying in the yard. When he got there, he found the bird was actually dead. It was taken to Bayshore Animal Hospital, where doctors found multiple pellets in its body. Matthews is now asking the public for help to find the person responsible.
I talked to quite a few people around there. I'm confident that if I get a reward built up on my Facebook page that equals $1,000, someone's going to turn someone in. People know who did it.
The crane was a female. Sandhill cranes are considered an endangered species.
The Salvation Army of Sarasota is working on providing more help for the homeless by adding the number of beds at the facility. Salvation Army's area commander, Ethan Frizzell, says with the help of the city and county in an effort to try to find affordable housing for people, the more than 60 new beds are just a small step in what the Salvation Army sees as the bigger picture.
So by adding the beds, we've also made sure that we've added case management in an approach called quality of life by choice, which actually reduces the days of homelessness. Simply by bringing people in and allowing them to develop an action plan that's collaborative with the community, we can move them to housing faster.
There is another town hall meeting scheduled for tonight at the Glasser Schoenbaum Human Services Center from 6 to 7:30 p.m.
City of Sarasota rescheduling a public meeting where you can learn more about its major wastewater treatment project. That meeting was originally set for yesterday. It will now be held Wednesday, November 9th at the SRQ Media Studio at 1 o'clock that afternoon. At that meeting, you can learn more about the new Lift Station 87 project in Lukewood Park that will replace an older station on Pomelo Avenue. Construction on this complicated project is scheduled to be finished by the end of the year 2020. Still to come in your Suncoast News, outrage over soldiers asked to pay back thousands of dollars in bonuses. What the Defense Department is now doing to rectify that situation.
And ABC 7 Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back with your full weather forecast. Plus, later in Health Smart, the lasting impact of youth football, how just one season on the field can affect players' health.
Stand out in your new wild Lexus. Lease a brand new 2017 Lexus ES 350 for only $379. Just $379 exclusively at Wild Lexus of Sarasota on Clark Road.
Tonight on ABC 7 News at 7.
He got angry, cursed me out, wanted to hit. I got smacked in the face, because I didn't have dinner ready.
Domestic violence awareness. More than 100,000 incidents are reported each year in Florida alone. So when is it time to get help? And what resources are there? I'm Alan Cohn. We'll have that story plus our roundtable discussion.
Tonight on ABC 7 News at 7. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Types of timber, cuts of meat, cooking times, temperatures, rubs, seasonings, sauces. You name it, they know it. That's what makes them who they are, Sonny's Pitmasters. And proud of it. Come get some baby back ribs at Sonny's Barbecue. On their own or paired with favorites like jalapeno cheddar hot links or pulled or sliced pork plus 2 sides and bread. Sonny's Barbecue. Local Pitmasters since '68.
They say good things come to those that wait. Well, you've waited long enough. You deserve to feel fabulous in your fashionable new Fiat 500X from Alfa Romeo Fiat in Sarasota. Boldly innovative, seductively stylish. Fiat gives you everything you'd expect from a capable utility vehicle, like a spacious interior and advanced safety systems, designed and built like a sexy little Sportster. Don't wait any longer. You deserve to feel fabulous. Get a new Fiat at Alfa Romeo Fiat of Sarasota.
Whether you're a homeowner looking for a professional installation or a contractor looking for top quality products, Sarasota Glass and Mirror can meet your every need.
For 42 years, Sarasota Glass and Mirror has been the area's premier supplier and installer of quality glass products for your home or business. As an authorized PGT WinGuard dealer, we know how to protect your home with everything from the PGT WinGuard impact-resistant windows and doors to shower enclosures and decorative mirrors. The Sarasota Glass and Mirror team has the knowledge to tackle any project.
Christmas Traditions by LuxArt Silks, where more is merrier. Make your holidays sparkle with style. Browse our amazing showroom, cute collectible cottages, and beautiful Christmas displays. Find the inspiration, selection, and quality you need to deck the halls merry and bright. Christmas Traditions also features the area's largest selection of quality pre-lit Christmas trees, every size, shape, and color, and plenty of decorations to make your home shine for the holidays. Christmas Traditions by LuxArt Silks, where more is merrier. Visit us on New 301, just a quarter-mile north of University Parkway.
Stand out in your new wild Lexus. Lease a new Lexus RX 350 for only $419. Just $419 exclusively at Wild Lexus of Sarasota on Clark Road.
The Pentagon is responding to growing outrage over thousands of California National Guard soldiers asked to pay back bonuses they were promised.
Current and retired service members, some who served in war, have been asked to pay back thousands of dollars they were already paid. During the height of the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan, the National Guard used bonuses to entice soldiers to re-enlist. The problem started in 2010 when the military learned of criminal fraud. A California National Guard official gave bonuses intended for highly skilled soldiers to others who did not qualify. And service members who did nothing wrong are now paying for that mistake. The Defense Secretary is taking action.
I've ordered the suspension of all efforts to collect reimbursement from affected California Guard members.
We did.
Secretary Carter has ordered a team to establish a better process to resolve these cases quickly and fairly by the first of the year, with the goal of resolving all of them by July.
The Florida Department of Agriculture is funding grants to several school districts to increase the amount of locally grown food served to students. School districts that buy at least 10% of what they serve from Florida farms are eligible for the grants. It's all part of the Agriculture Department's Farm to School program. The goal is to get fresh and healthy food to kids at a more affordable cost to school districts, while also supporting the bottom line of local farmers and ranchers.
Our fresh fruits and vegetables in Florida are world class, so why go anywhere else when they're right in your backyard? It cuts down on transportation, keeps things fresh, delivers the nutrients right to the students.
The grants ranging from $25,000 to $75,000 were awarded to 6 Florida school districts this year, including Sarasota County. These districts all buy more than 1/10 of their food from Florida farmers. That's the key. You know it's fresh.
Yeah.
If it's coming right from the farm. Yeah.
It's always nice to know that. It was a fresh start this morning out in the waters, too. Kind of a chilly start, too. The water temperature's cooled down to the mid-70s, so when you're boating through the water, it's a little bit of a refreshing start to the day. Here's a look at the Van Wezel webcam showing clear skies for the most part. Just a few clouds now and again. A beautiful sunny day out there, and temperatures warming up into the upper 80s, a little bit above average. So that cool spell that we had for about 4 or 5 days is pretty much gone, although the humidity is quite nice out there as far as that goes. And Titan radar picture showing a few showers down to the south of us now, a little bit of moisture coming back into play along the east coast and across South Florida in the Florida Straits, but no rain to speak of here. It's staying dry and will stay that way. Northeast and into the Great Lakes we go. There's a big game tonight in Cleveland. A good chance for rainfall there as a storm system approaches. And look at this, snow into parts of Michigan tonight. From Detroit northward to Saginaw and all the way places to the north up to Cadillac, Michigan, getting some snowfall there, and just to the east of Carson City in the lower peninsula there of Michigan. Now 86 degrees, and we have generally fair skies here at the Sarasota Bradenton Airport. The dew point temperature is at 58. We have an east wind, and it's fairly brisk throughout the afternoon. Jacksonville now at 79. It's 80 in Orlando, 82 in Key West and in Miami. Temperatures around town into the low to mid 80s inland areas, and mid 80s right near the beaches. Cortez at 85, 86 in Bradenton, and 84 degrees in Venice and Northport. 2 degrees cooler into Punta Gorda. Tomorrow's forecast doesn't change much at all. A rather benign forecast with little or no changes expected throughout the day. High temperatures will be approaching right around 87 degrees. We'll start the morning off into the upper 60s and look for generally sunny to partly cloudy skies throughout the afternoon. That wind flow will stay fairly brisk out of the east and northeast, beginning tomorrow anywhere from 5 to 10, but then by the afternoon really starting to pick up, becoming more easterly in time, and that will warm us up into the upper 80s. Look for little or no chance for rain again here. A few showers possible on the east coast. You can see this cold front right there. That front is not going to do much for our weather. It gets hung up to the north and eventually fades away, not blowing through here anytime soon. Well, all is quiet here. We're keeping an eye on this area in the Western Caribbean, but no signs of development. And this is a Category 3 hurricane out there. This is Seymour, and this is heading off toward the west. Not a big factor there for land, but just shows you their season's still continuing there. And ours is as well. It's just for one more month. Theirs lasts a little bit longer. As far as that high pressure ridge goes, it will continue to push off to the east-southeast. And you see that front gets down over North Florida, or at least close to it, but eventually fades away. Temperatures, it's going to be a very chilly game. 44 degrees now in Cleveland with a good chance for showers there at game time, first pitch. 70 now in Kansas City, 85 in Dallas, and 72 in Denver. Washington, the nation's capital, at 57 degrees. Forecast for boaters tomorrow looks pretty much like it did today. Northeast winds at 10 to 15 knots. Seas will be 2 to 3 feet with a moderate chop in the bays and inland waters. The UV index will stay high, 85 degrees for high temperatures near the beaches. And the water temperature, there it is, at 76 degrees. So it is starting to cool here. High tide upcoming, 11:10. Low tide will be at 6:04. And sunset, 6:51. Sunrise will be at 7:38. Tonight, staying warm, a little bit above average. Our normal low right around 64 degrees. We'll see a 68-degree reading. Partly cloudy skies tomorrow. Above average temperatures, highs approaching near 90 inland areas, 88 degrees, and east winds 10 to 15. The extended forecast does call for great weather right through the weekend. High temperatures pretty close to seasonal averages. It will stay breezy on Thursday and Friday, slackening up somewhat on the weekend. And then still looking good for Halloween. No real threat of any rainfall for all the kids out there getting their candy. Scott, back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. That breezy weather affecting traffic at this hour. Drivers should be extra cautious on the Sunshine Skyway Bridge because strong winds are being reported on the span. Haley?
Thank you, Scott. In health news tonight, cancer not only affects a person's health, but also their finances. According to a study by the Hutchinson Institute for Cancer Outcomes Research, 1/3 of cancer survivors go into debt and 3% file for bankruptcy. Research shows that financial distress is at least equal to the fear of dying from the disease. 60% of bankruptcies in the United States are related to medical bills. Not surprising when you consider average out-of-pocket cancer costs are $35,000 per year. One thing that can help is to apply for programs that some pharmaceutical companies have that can help with your copays. New research focusing on children has found that playing just a single season of youth football can put them at risk for measurable brain changes. That's even if they never received a clinical diagnosis of a concussion. These are the findings of a study published in the journal Radiology. Researchers found that the young players who experienced more cumulative head impact exposure had more changes in brain white matter and decreased the movement of the water molecules in the brain. And that in specific has been linked with traumatic brain injury. Your cells might be aging faster than you are, and some new tests claim to help you find that out. A few companies are offering mail order testing to measure the length of people's telomeres. Those are the protective caps of DNA on the ends of the chromosomes. Telomeres gradually shorten as people age and eventually may disappear, leaving cells vulnerable to disease and death. Users mail in a drop of blood and get back a calculation of their age in telo years, adjusted up or down depending on how they compare with the general population. But critics say telomere length varies so widely that it isn't clear what length is problematic. Coming up next, video catches a burglar creeping around a home while kids are sleeping in the living room. And he wasn't alone. We'll explain. And this year's election season is going to the pumpkins. How one man is expressing his political freedom, one gourd at a time.
ABC 7 News at 7, weeknights.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, A-N-D, services.com.
The kitchen is where life happens. Minnesota Flooring now offers a wide variety of beautiful quality craft-made cabinetry to make sure the heart of your home reflects your style. Visit us today at our new kitchen and bath cabinetry locations.
Sarasota Opera presents Donizetti's Don Pasquale. 6 performances from October 28th through November 13th. Reserve your tickets at sarasotaopera.org.
The celebration is heating up and the prices just keep getting better during the Jeep Celebration event going on now at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota. Come shop the area's largest selection of Jeep Grand Cherokees or get big savings on a new Jeep Cherokee for as little as $19,999. Stop by today and drive away in a brand new Jeep Compass for just $15,999. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota.
You only have one life. Are you gambling with it? 1 in 3 adults have high blood pressure. Not knowing your numbers could cause you to lose, big time. Luckily, you can turn the odds in your favor by getting your blood pressure checked today. Don't leave your health to chance. Learn more at heart.org/HPB.
Selling your home? Insist on a 3D showcase tour from Gulf Shores Realty. Virtual tours are flat and boring and look more like a slideshow than a tour. A 3D tour from Gulf Shores Realty is like actually walking through the home without the drive. Get instant access to your next home from any device. Multiple views give homebuyers a perspective like no other. For a limited time, mention ABC7 and Gulf Shores Realty will provide a complimentary 3D tour with your new listing.
A burglar breaks into a South Florida home with 2 sleeping children in the living room, and it's all caught on camera. Surveillance video showing the burglar pushing his way inside the home through the front door. He creeps around in the darkness in the living room where a 10-year-old and a 13-year-old were sleeping on the couch. The burglar takes one of the kids' cell phones. His lookout was just outside the front door, aiming his gun inside as everyone continued to sleep. The man who owns the house says while he was looking over the surveillance video, he noticed there was more than one guy. He noticed multiple people were in his driveway going through his car, but he says he has now a warning for them.
They better stay away from here because I am armed and I'm doing measures now where I will be alerted if somebody is prowling out here.
The kids were not hurt, but the man ended up taking Vera's gun, his GPS, credit cards, and wallet. Vera says since the break-in, he has installed new locks and will be adding more lights outside. Well, quite a spectacle on North Siesta Key today after a large sailboat got stuck in the sand. The 40-foot long sailboat named Joyride got stuck just offshore early Friday morning. According to lifeguards on the beach, the boat grounded during an unusually high tide. Yesterday, 2 towboats tried to free the boat from high tide, but it wasn't high enough and the boat wouldn't budge. Today, we understand they were finally successful in moving it off the sand there. About 50 beachgoers gathered to watch the entire process.
A penguin at SeaWorld Orlando is definitely standing out. She is donning a one-of-a-kind wetsuit. It sort of reminds you of a suit that you would see for a human diver. The penguin has to wear the suit because she lost some of her feathers, which is pretty normal. The suit will help regulate her body temperature, and it is custom fit, so no other penguin can wear it, and she will wear it until her feathers grow back, and she looks so cute. Well, it looks like Donald Trump is looking to make pumpkins great again. A man in Ohio carved out a Trumpkin. He says it's in the spirit of being politically fair, so he included a Hillary Clinton. There's also a Vladimir Putin after Russian President Vladimir Putin. Clinton and Trumpkin weigh in at the same, but Putin is a little bit heavier. Today, by the way, is National Pumpkin Day. And don't try to say all those kin names really fast. It's hard to say.
Wow.
That's funny, the face.
That's pretty creative.
Yeah, that's really good.
No carving, though. It's just the drawing.
Just the drawing, but that's still very cool.
That's an easier way to do it.
Yeah, it is a lot less messy. Well, still to come on your Suncoast News, a big change for a popular outdoor event in Sarasota County.
What will be different at this year's Chalk Festival in Venice? We'll have the story and the details coming up.
At Sunset Subaru in Sarasota, you'll always get the most for your money. More years, more miles, more 2016 IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus winners than any other brand. And right now, you can lease the most award-winning small SUV on the planet. A new 2017 Subaru Forester for just $209 a month. Or get 0% financing. Complimentary maintenance included at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
They care. They take the time to understand you, take the time to understand your case.
There's no better satisfaction to me than to see a client who is happy because of the job we've done for them.
It's really actually very comforting to know that there's someone that you've heard of and you're getting recommendations about that you can turn to when you have a problem.
I felt like I had a partner in this, and he was going to be by my side.
Getting older shouldn't mean giving up all the things she loves to do. It should just mean, well, finding new ways to do them. Right at Home's professional team thoughtfully selects caregivers to provide help with personal care, housekeeping, and of course, meal preparation.
Oh, that smells so good.
Oh, and it tastes good too.
We can provide the right care right at home.
Gold fever has once again swept the nation.
and everyone is rushing to Florida to strike it doubly rich. Introducing the $5 million Gold Rush Doubler. We're doubling cash prizes for over $752 million in payouts, and 36 prizes from $1 million to $5 million. The Florida Gold Rush is on. The Florida Lottery, just imagine.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. Our promise means a new car you'll love. If not, return it for one you do. At Sarasota Ford, we promise live market pricing. We monitor national pricing on our entire inventory, so you get the best deal. In fact, we guarantee it. Bring us any competitor's ad, and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.